Hello everyone, and in this video, I will be recapping Sinister, a horror film from 2012. Subscribe and hit the bell to never miss a recap, and leave a movie suggestion in the comments for me to recap. The movie opens with a disturbing Super 8 film reel showing an entire family being hanged from a tree in their backyard. Ellison Oswalt is a true crime writer hoping to revive his career. He moves his family, his wife Tracy, and their kids, Ashley and Trevor, into a new house. Unbeknownst to his family, this is the same house where the murders from the opening scene took place. While unpacking, Ellison discovers a box of old Super 8 film reels and a projector in the attic. He then starts to set up the murder case of the family that was hung, but realizes only the youngest sibling is missing out of the four. From curiosity, he decides to watch the film on the projector, and it shows a family having a good time with each other, but then it cuts into a part where that family is being hanged, and now Ellison is shocked by what he sees. Ellison starts investigating past murders from people that lived in the same house he's in, and discovers the same thing is happening, but murders are being done in different ways. But he's still questioning where is the youngest child in those families. Meanwhile, his son Trevor begins experiencing terrifying night terrors, and his daughter Ashley starts acting strangely, drawing disturbing pictures on her bedroom wall. For the third time, he watches the film of the third family who was murdered, and this time they were killed by being drowned, tied up. But he notices a strange shadowy figure and tries to observe it from close, but the projector catches on fire somehow. He tries to figure out what the figure is but doesn't have an idea of what it could be. Ellison discovers a symbol in one of the victims' house where the killing took place, and becomes curious, so he prints it out so he can figure what that symbol can possibly mean. Ellison reaches out to a local deputy, nicknamed Deputy So-and-so, who helps him connect the dots, and Ellison discusses all the things he saw, but they are both just as confused, so Deputy tells him to speak with a professor. With Ellison doing more research, he goes through every single murder in each film, and he sees that the dark shadowy figure is present in every video that was taken. Now, being on a call with Deputy, he gives Ellison more information and locations of the murders, but when Deputy gives a specific address, something doesn't sit right with him. Later that day, Ellison wakes up to a noise, and it's the projector playing without anyone touching it, so when he stops it, he grabs one of the pictures of the dark figure, and now this is when he realizes he just moved into the house where the murders begin. After that, he and his wife try to help their son, as he had another night terror, so his wife wants to make the decision to move out of town. But he keeps telling her everything will be fine, but not for long. With further research, Ellison finally meets with a professor and discovers that the symbol in the films belongs to an ancient pagan deity named Bagul, also known as the Eater of Children. The professor explains to Ellison, Bagul lures children, possesses them, and forces them to kill their families before taking them into his world. Ellison's fear grows as supernatural occurrences escalate in his home. He starts seeing shadowy figures, hearing strange noises, and even witnessing the ghostly children of past victims appearing around the house. And now Bagul is getting closer to possessing Ellison's youngest child. The next morning, Ellison calls Deputy over and tries to explain what is happening to him ever since he moved into the house. But he can't seem to explain for Deputy to understand what's happening, so he becomes even more stressed about the situation. While he's working, he gets called by his wife, and she tells him that his daughter Ashley was painting on the wall, and he has a weird reaction, and that's because that's one of the victims that used to live in that same exact house, and the victim Bagul took. With Ellison's wife not knowing they moved into the victim's house, they get in a big argument. While Ellison is sleeping, a flashlight is put on him and causes him to wake up, but doesn't see anything near him. But he still hears noises around the house, so he checks where it's coming from, but he sees his attic is open, so he checks what's in there. And he sees the ghostly children that were so-called missing, but really Bagul has took them. Terrified, Ellison finally decides to burn the tapes, and he tells his wife they shouldn't have came there, and they need to leave the house quick. They get the kids and they decide to go back to their old home during midnight, and when they make it, the next morning they fix up all of their stuff in the house, but Ellison finds pictures on his laptop that connects to Bagul, so he gets on another call with the professor, and he tells Ellison that Bagul lived in the images, and they were gateways into his realm. Since Ellison and his daughter has been exposed to the images, Bagul can abduct his daughter. As he goes to the attic of the house, he finds a new box of films in the attic, this time with an additional tape labeled Extended Cut, the same box that was in the other house. When he plays it, he finally understands the horrifying pattern. Each family was murdered after moving out of the cursed house, just like he did. The child that was so-called missing of each murdered family was the one who filmed the murders before disappearing. Before he can react, Ellison suddenly feels weak. He finds a strange green liquid in his coffee. He's been drugged. As he collapses, his daughter Ashley stands over him, holding an axe. She calmly tells him that she is making a movie. The final horrifying scene shows Ashley brutally murdering her entire family before drawing Bagul's symbol on the wall. She then joins the ghostly children from the previous tapes. In the last moment, Bagul appears in the film, picks up Ashley, and disappears into the screen, taking her into his realm, and the cycle has begun again. Thanks for watching until the end, and if you made it this far, make sure you subscribe for more breakdowns.